We should be back. Yep, we're back. We are back.
That was crazy.
Yeah, the power just went out.
So is it
But we're back.
So it was like we don't even know if it was storm or anything, but we're back. So to give you an update, we were from where we left off. We were making a parlay for the night. Now, what do you think of the games? So let's just give a recap of what we have since we were cut off. We have South Carolina plus 9.5. We're gonna build that up. Notre Dame plus 5. Probably gonna get it up to like 7.5 or possibly 9.5 if it's going to be a close game. You got Oregon. I like the under in that game. Probably buy up a little bit on that game. Iowa State versus Baylor. Iowa State at home. Brock Purdy versus Baylor, who we've seen Baylor. They look terrible. So you get Iowa State minus 14. I know you hate those double-digit spreads. But the over-under is 47. 47.
I don't know. Whenever I see a big spread like that, like I just always feel like you almost want, because it's almost like you anticipate one team just balling out.
Well, let me give you a spread that you may want to think about. How about Ohio State minus 38 against?
Oh God, no.
Against Rutgers.
How bad do you have to be to have that kind of spread? Sheesh.
How good is Ohio State?
Ohio State is nice.
Bigger thing.
Ohio State's nice. Their team's looking great this year. I mean, I know they only played a couple of games, but
Tennessee versus Arkansas at Arkansas. Now, Felipe Franks has beaten Tennessee in his career against Florida while he was a Florida Gator. But Arkansas is at home against Tennessee. It's definitely not like just right there. So there's a little bit of travel that goes there, east versus west. You get +2 on Arkansas in that game. Who do you like even? I like Arkansas.
I kind of do like Arkansas in that game. They don't look so bad, and to have that kind of spread, you almost think they could.
You definitely think about money line at +110 there. So maybe that'll be just our filler right there.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
It's a good filler pick, exactly. Like if you want to really like get a little daring, you want to add a little extra to your your parlay or something like that. That's something you could throw in there.
Now I want to pitch something to you because I think if you want to make this fun, you want to add a super plus in there. How confident are you in Coastal Carolina tonight against South Alabama?
So confident that I actually did put a bet on them to cover.
So already placed 17 on Coastal Carolina.
I took it.
If it was 3 touchdowns, would you take it?
Who are they playing one more time? What's the name of the team?
South Alabama.
I'm taking it.
You're taking it?
It's not a...
What if it's Alabama?
It's not a clear day of thinking in a state such as Alabama.
What if it's actually Alabama?
If it's actually Alabama, like against South Alabama, against Coastal.
Against Coastal.
And Coastal's to cover by 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, 3
no
touchdowns.
way. Do I think they're going to win?
Trying to get you to say something.
Do I think they're going to win? Fuck yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. You think it's about to be some mighty duck shit?
Nick Saban has never met McCall.
By the way, shout out to Liberty today for a win, +16.5, and they won. Did you see how that game ended?
No.
So this is probably the bad beat of the week if you had Virginia Tech money line in this game, which people definitely don't know Liberty is, and they had that. So their kicker lined up for a 51-yard field goal. The kick was blocked, and Virginia Tech took it to the touchdown. No more time left, 41-35. They win. The problem was the referee stopped it and said that Virginia Tech called a timeout. So they 51-yard field goal, the Liberty kicker nails it.
Who called it? Wait, did someone really call the timeout? Like, did they have video of someone like...
Yep.
Oh,
the worst beat of the week for sure if you had Virginia Tech money line. Because you probably, the chances are you were so confident that you bet them money line. It's just like, okay, I could bet 500 and get an easy $60.
Nah, man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna roll with Coastal Carolina in this and all that, but that is a bad beat of the week. That's terrible. I'm still confident though that Coastal's gonna cover that.
Now, you haven't been introduced to this. I don't think you've been in gambling long enough, but it's great to have all this kind of college football back, Maction, the Fun Belt. It's all been good. Like, I mean, to find and watch these teams like Coastal Carolina. You watched Nevada last week. You watched BYU in the Mountain West, who look absolutely like world beaters. Honestly, for the competition, they went on the blue turf last night. They beat them 51-17. But the most favored game of all degenerate gamblers is the 11 p.m. tip of the New Mexico-Hawaii game. If you've lost some money, then you've got a Hawaii late at night to try and win it back. Then you get a random Washington State, Oregon State at like 10:30. But for the most part, yeah, New Mexico, Hawaii. It's still sunny there.
And what's the spread on that? Or what are you running with?
I mean, hopefully we won't need this. I'm not going to add this into the parlay, but hopefully we don't have it. But it's at 14.5 for New Mexico. It's a lot of points. Now, traveling to Hawaii, it's long travel, but not so much to get there. It's getting back from Hawaii.
I think they require that you quarantine before you get there and after you get there. Or and like before you leave or something like that.
Yeah, no, that should be interesting. That's actually really interesting how that dynamic works, especially for Hawaii. I mean, it just depends on, it really just depends on your state for the most part. But yeah, so that's what we got. Recap. So we're going to go Arkansas, Coastal Carolina, Notre Dame, +5. We're going to take South Carolina +9.5. And we like Iowa State. I mean, both teams kind of stink. Maybe I'd bring that over down if we have that game. And then I really like Oregon -10.5 as well. I think I don't think Stanford's very good, and I think Oregon, although they have a new quarterback, they don't have Herbert anymore. There's a lot of good weapons alongside, and they have a very good defense.
Oregon's always put together good sports programs. And I trust they'll do the right thing.
It's just and it's much better on the West Coast. Like, it's just more appeasing to watch.
Yeah.
So a quick update that we got in this Florida-Georgia game that we're looking to decide. It is 28-21 Florida. The points are coming in hot. We were actually discussing when we went down with a power outage that this game right now, live bet at 83.5.
For the over-under.
Folks, it's only going to go up. This is
going to be a
100-point game.
They're kicking a 50-yard field goal right now.
50-yard field goal. It's straight on for Evan McPherson. This is so exciting. A field goal live on the show. Oh, he drilled
50 yards, dead in the center.
Oh, he drilled that. Oh, my goodness. That was good for 60.
Yep. And the logo on the net was the All-State hands. He kicked it right into the hands.
Did you see Dan Mullen's post-game speech after their game last week? With
No.
I honestly forget who they played. Missouri. They played Missouri. And at halftime, they got into a huge fight. Brawls, fists, throwing like a huge fight. So Dan Mullen broke up everything because it was literally several punches being thrown. He went to go pump up the, for whatever reason, 60% filled swamp. And then after the game, because it was Halloween, he did his interview in a Darth Vader mask and full costume with an actual lightsaber. That's great.
I have no words.
Darth Mullen.
I have no words for this. I have no words. That sounds like something a Gator would do.
I mean, if you're trying to to be a part of Gainesville, that's a very, very good
Darth Vader wouldn't break up the fight. Darth Vader would encourage the madness.
I mean, he would end it. If Darth Vader was there would be no fight. He'd just push off whatever side he wanted.
Never forget that Darth Vader was in a work meeting and started choking his coworker because he lost his shit. Never forget.
Yeah, he did that shit. That was crazy.
He did. Choked him. Didn't even use his hand on his neck. First one to socially distance choke a coworker. Darth Vader breaking ground.
It's amazing that used to be someone who used to race like those copters as a kid.
Yep. Was a nice kid. Nice kid. Grew up.
Listen, I don't care. You can take all the Star Wars combined. Nothing beats Episode 1 race scene. Best Star Wars moment.
Yeah, for sure. I think that revolutionized the Star Wars situation.
Saying that.
Who gives a
I
fuck?
offended someone so bad.
Some Star Wars fans out there, no, you don't understand.
Anakin driving one of that thing against that thing, Sebulba.
Sebulba, you piece of shit.
Sebulba.
Jar Jar Binks was in that one.
Yes, Jar Jar Binks was a big part of that one.
Yeah.
God, that was it. See, that's why the movie relied on him and Liam Neeson's.
Liam Neeson was in that movie. Who would ever thought Liam Neeson was in Star Wars? I didn't even realize it until after Taken that it was Liam Neeson. I don't think anyone knew who Liam Neeson was until he did Taken.
Well, when I watched that movie, I was like 6, 7.
Yeah,
so
but
I
even at that,
because
he was still in a lot of movies. You would see his face, you'd be like, yeah, I know him by his face, right? But no one knew his name until Taken. Once Taken happened, it's like, oh, Liam Neeson, and then he had like the 6 other different versions of Taken. Like Taken, Stolen.
Hot take, his best movie of all time is Ted 2.
It could quite possibly be.
Are you telling me that tricks are just for kids? So if I purchase it, what will happen?
I would take that Liam Neeson over all the Liam Neesons.
Which one? You mean the Liam Neeson?
Ted 2, Liam Neeson.
Yes, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Every other one is just him chasing after somebody.
Yeah.
And winning at the end.
Yeah, some way, somehow. On
Except
a train,
for Star Wars.
on a plane.
He did not win in Star Wars.
In another country.
Spoiler.
He didn't win in Star Wars, though.
He did not.
In another planet, he doesn't have a chance. But on Earth, if you have someone that's been taken some way, somehow, or you need to find somebody, and he has no idea who they are, has no clues or anything like that, if you want someone to gather all this information for you, using the bare minimum, like a paper clip and, half of a Frosted Flake or some shit.
Paperclip and Frosted Flake.
Liam Neeson would find someone with a half of Frosted Flake and a paperclip, guaranteed.
Why would he be in search of that?
No, he would use it. He would use it as like a compass. He would literally put like the paperclip on top of the Frosted Flake and like use it like a compass and go find someone.
Do tell. So
I
he
can't.
Just, like,
Liam Neeson would. I don't know. Liam Neeson would. I just know that's the kind of methods he takes.
That's a hot, spicy take.
Hey, look, you're going to tell me this guy just literally has a phone book full of people he could call and just be like, where are they? And they're like, I don't know. And it's like, you have some idea. And they're like, okay,
I bet you he
some
does
clue.
now.
No.
He's got those kind of connections based on his prior experiences in that department.
Well, that's why he went out to a whole other galaxy and then he got killed. So, yeah.
It's a good point. He also had a ponytail at that time.
He did.
Definitely
not his look. Not his look.
For sure. So, guys, make sure you follow us, Gamble on Ginter. Thank you for joining the Gamble on Ginter podcast. Definitely look for us on Spotify, Apple. We're on YouTube. Follow us, Ginty Fresh 36, only in mono, all caps for some reason.
Yeah. The Icon Network, Gamble on Ginter.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, next Saturday. Catch y'all later.